Okay, Kevin, can we test? Kevin, can you test your voice again?
Hello, it's Kevin talking from my office next door to Kendall Hall.
Okay, yeah, you're not over the speaker. Okay.
Test, test, 1, 2, test, test.
Hello, everyone. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. Just remember this video is being recorded and shared. So if you do not want to be in the recording, you can turn your video off on your computer screen. There will be opportunity to ask questions, and Katie and Kevin will be monitoring that. It's a little bit hard to hear in Kendall Hall from when folks in Zoom land ask questions. So just speak loudly when you do. And Katie and Kevin can also monitor and relay that question to us. So when we get to that part. All right, thank you.
Welcome everyone to our July meeting here. I hope all is well here. It's going to be our hottest day, I think, or maybe it's tomorrow will be even hotter. Sunday to be even hotter. Anyway, it's hot outside, so welcome that you're here in our cool Kendall Hall for our meeting here. And we will begin with a moment of silence. Thank you very much. As some of you know, I just came back from Alaska. So if you want to cool off, you can take a little plane ride up to Alaska. It's only 56 degrees up there, so you can cool off there. The only problem is make sure you bring, when you come back, you bring a few things on your backpack, because my suitcase, I checked it in a week ago, and I think it's still in Alaska somewhere. It's hard to return your suitcase, so I may need some donations from a few people here, if it doesn't show up in a couple of days. But other than that, I had a good time, and I thank you for all inquiring. And I had a wonderful birthday up in Alaska, so thank you very much. But I noticed I shared the birthday with Jan as well. She was born 1 or 2 years after me, maybe a decade or two after me, I don't know. But anyway, so we'll start our meeting here. The first thing I want to do is introduce any of our new residents. And we have a couple today, and I don't know if they're here, but it's Betty Reed here. They never get the word. How about Alice Corral? Stand up, Alice. This is our new resident here. Welcome. How about Karen Waters and John McRan? Not here as well. Well, at least we got Alice here to represent all the new residents that showed up during the last month. We welcome you. Hope you have a nice stay here, and we're a close knit family, and we enjoy you. Where are you living at?
I got John Gunn's apartment.
An apartment here in Anderson. Welcome. All right, so we'll start off with our CEO, Jan, to give us a few updates. And here's the marker where you have to stand.
All right, X marks the spot. Good morning, everyone. Good to see everyone. Hello, all of you out in Zoom land. I do have a few updates, as you can imagine. The facilities condition and assessment, or assessment and energy audit. We did sign an agreement with Bureau Veritas. They were here last week and worked, 3 days with Herbie and his crew. We hope they took a picture of everything, which I think they did. They'll gather that information, and then they'll get us a draft assessment that we can review, make sure that we understand what we're getting, and that will provide us with a 20-year spending plan, as well as ways that we can utilize our Works Hub better for a stronger preventative maintenance plan. The Rockbridge Area Health Center Clinic, the transition was actually formally made July 1st, and I do believe that they saw their first patients this week. So that's pretty good. If you are interested, please reach out to Danielle or myself if you're interested in knowing more about the Rockbridge Area Health Center and ways that you can become a client with them. And Danielle, are we planning an open house for your new little abode?
I am, as soon as the cabinets are up and things are unpacked, I'll get that on the calendar.
Okay, so Danielle's going to get that on the calendar to do a little tour of our new clinic. And once she gets her stuff put away, but she needs cabinets so that she can do that. And last but not least, Director of Facility Services. So we have been advertising for that for the last 4 weeks. As you know, Herbie was interested in stepping down into a maintenance manager role and has now decided that he is moving on to another opportunity. So we are in the process now of signing an agreement with the recruiter to help us, because we have not been able to find viable candidates on our own. We also have numerous social media sites that we have placed the position and have had the position on. Megan and Marlene are working real hard to find other opportunities. We reached out to the VA Career Center to see where we can possibly post the Director of Facility Services as well. We have also posted it on 2 Facility Management Association websites. So you can't say we don't have it out there. The plan is to continue our search for that director position. We've also reached out to a couple connections that I have to see if we could possibly find an interim to sit with us. I have an appointment with somebody at 2 o'clock this afternoon to talk a little bit more about the opportunities for an interim until we find a permanent placement for Herbie. So we'll obviously need to prioritize Herbie's time over the next few weeks. Lots of people need to pick his brain after 13 years. He's got a lot up there, and we have 4 weeks to get it up here. So almost an impossible task, but we will hopefully be able to prioritize his time and spend time with him so that we can be in the best space possible upon his departure. I have had some suggestions from residents, and I truly appreciate them. If you have any suggestions or any interested candidates in the position, please make sure you send them my way, and we will jump on that opportunity as well. But I do want to take a moment before I sit down to thank Herbie for his 13 years of service. His dedication, his devotion to each and every one of you has been remarkable, and I think he deserves a big round of applause. This has definitely not been an easy week for any of us, and it surely has not been an easy time for Herbie. So he truly loves each and every one of you, as well as the staff, and we just need to support him over the next 3 or 4 weeks as he transmits that energy and that knowledge that he has to all of us. So thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
Oh, I'm allowed to take questions.
I'm just gonna move this screen because Zoom Land's having a little hard time hearing.
Oh, they are, okay.
Just speak a little more forward to it.
Okay. Can you hear me okay out there? Can I get some thumbs up? Okay, good. I got the thumbs up now. Yes, questions?
Question, Jan, but I heard at the meeting last night how difficult it is going to be to replace Herbie in that this place, the health center, BMI, WNL are all advertising for facility managers at this point in time.
Yes, there are numerous folks around us that need the same position, and it is difficult. I don't know what else to say. It's difficult. Yes, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Jan. And of course, Herbie is now going to make his last stand here, his final going away. He tells everything that's good that's going on in Kendall. And I think the only solution we can have is that he stays until he gets his replacement. That's usually the way it goes. You don't leave until you get a replacement in place with a month overlap. I mean, that's the only way that'll work out. So Herbie, you have to reconsider, maybe 6 or 8 more months, I mean, how about 15-year retirement, I mean, let's work things out here for you. So anything we can do to help you, but obviously on behalf of all of us here, we do want to thank you for your 13 years. I've only been here for 3, but I know the great impact Herbie has had with us here and running this establishment and keeping fingers on everything that's going on. It's amazing that when you ask him what's going on, he seems to know all the little problems we have throughout the complex here. And it's a very difficult job to keep abreast of everything and try to keep everything going smoothly. And so we want to thank you, Herbie, on behalf of all the residents here, and wish you good luck in your future. And you can always come back here as we have an open positioning here. So if you're interested, please apply. See Jan. It'll be a short application for you. But anyway, you're on.
I'm not even sure if I can do this, guy. First off, I'm so thankful for the years that I have been here. This has not been the easiest decision, probably top 3 of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life, to be completely honest. but I'm at a point that I've got to think a little bit about me and my health right now, my family. Not that. I'm so grateful to know each and every one of you, all the staff that I have worked for, over the years, worked with. It's truly been a blessing. And maybe I'll try to come back and say something.
There's another new resident, Carol and
Hey,
Jane
Paul,
Comstock.
can you come in front of the camera?
I understand there's another new resident, Carol and Jane Comstock. Are they here? Please stand up. There's another new resident. Welcome, welcome. Is anyone else here, a new resident that's the first time to one of our association meetings? Is this the first time? Because sometimes you don't show up at the first meeting when you arrive. Anyway, I don't want to miss anybody because we want to welcome everybody into our family community here. Anyway, next I think we have marketing is next.
Thanks. Judy's giving me Zoom instructions. Welcome, everyone. Great to see you. I know we all are sad and a little bit of grief of Herbie's departure, and we will all miss him and thank him. I have some good news, and maybe this might give Herbie some ideas. We have a new position in marketing to help manage the Katie Web and also to help with communications and be sort of a concierge to you residents, especially on things that might involve computers. So how do I get my bank statements online again and things like that, but primarily to help manage the Katie Web and be a liaison to the Katie Web committee. And this person is going to be starting soon, and her name is Becky Edmondson. Kevin said, be sure to mention that because the residents will need that great news. And we're still working out the details. So I'll be sending out an email about start time and some more things about that role, but I at least wanted to tell you that bit of good news. In other good news, last week, we had 2 reservations on one apartment and one cottage that came open. So we have some new folks planned to move in. For those reservations are in November. In August, we have 2 more households moving into an apartment, actually 2 apartments over in the north wing. So that's going to be great. So that leaves us 5 apartments that are not spoken for, putting us at about 94% occupancy, almost 97% if you include those reservations. So we're doing great. But of course, we want to find wonderful residents to fill those 5 apartments that we have available. Katie and Kevin, why don't you come on up? Just give a little more info.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this short and sweet this morning. We've had 7 new wait lists since last month. 4 of those are coming from Lexington, 3 from Northern Virginia. And we're expecting a few more to be coming in soon from some of the tours that we've been doing. So that brings our grand total up to 34 for the year. So above what we were expecting. So I'll let Kevin talk about the tours.
I had to make sure I found the right spot. We've had lots of tours and trial visits since the last Residents Association meeting, about 20 altogether. From lots of places: Grand Junction, Colorado, Hanover, New Hampshire, Arlington, Virginia, Buena Vista, Virginia, Mesa, Arizona, Henrico, Virginia, Reston, Virginia, Avon, New York, Lexington, several from Lexington, Virginia, and a couple from Berkeley, California, who are actually visiting right now and are somewhere in this room right now. So, just wanted to take a moment to thank all of you for all that you do to help Katie and Jessica and me when we have folks touring and visiting our campus and staying for a night or two at Sunnyside House, we keep getting, after folks leave their visit here, and by the way, they almost always join the wait list after they've been here for a couple of days and met all of you. We get emails telling us that we've visited other communities, other CCRCs, other life plan communities, even other Kendall communities, and nobody treats us the way you folks do. And in particular, they're talking about you, the folks that host them for meals, the folks that open up their homes for tours, and the folks who just wave them down when you run into them walking down the hallway or across the center court. Other places don't show the sort of interest and friendliness that all of you do, and it makes a big difference. It's a big reason why we always say the best salespeople for Kendall and Lexington are not the 3 of us in the marketing department. It's the 200 of you who already made a decision to live here. So thank you all very much for all of that. You make our job so much easier.
Do we have any questions of marketing? And Kevin, you said we have some visitors here in this room? Where are these visitors? Please stand up. Let's welcome our new visitors. We're about to make a decision, should we come here to Kendall? And so I want everyone here at the end of this meeting to talk to this couple here and convince them this is the place you need to be for the rest of your life. Welcome, welcome. We hope you make the right decision for your future. There's only one decision you can make, and it is the right decision here to come to Kendall. All right, next we have Judy. Judy has a couple of remarks. I think she's lost some more dishes somewhere, but anyway, she can let you know what she's looking for.
Good morning, everybody. How are you today?
Great.
Good morning there in Zoom. Yes, as Paul mentioned, seems my China has become the preferred to-go item. Not good. So I have ordered since May when we started this 3 cases of soup bowls, 4 cases of plates, 3 cases of tumblers, and a multitude of knives, forks, and spoons. If you guys would be so kind as to please bring your recyclables with you and take items off of China. Oh, I have 3 cases of dessert plates coming in as well. So if we could make that happen, that would be great. My budget shows the paper purchases going down, but the China going up. China's a little bit more expensive. Other than that, if we can keep it in the dining room, that would be awesome. And for those of you who have signed up for the kitchen tour today, remember it starts at 3 o'clock. You'll need a hat or a hairnet. I have hairnets. We had one person show up in a shower cap, that would work. But so if you're coming to that, please come at 3. And we always start at the loading dock. I pretend you're a case of onions, and we go through the whole kitchen and into the restaurant. If you have not signed up, just so you know, I want to meet expectations. There are no samples. Okay. So other than that, does anybody have any questions for me?
Bring a
Of
dish
course.
for admission.
Excuse me?
Bring a dish for admission.
It was strongly recommended that you bring a dish for admission. Yes, ma'am.
We're coming this afternoon. Where's the loading dock?
The kitchen tour, you can meet right at the foot of the stairs, and I will bring you out to the loading dock, and we will begin from there. Any other questions? All right, Pablo, you're on. You're hot today, man.
I do have to make one confession. Yesterday, I took a plate from the dining room, but it had this nice salad, Cobb salad on it. And I couldn't just scrape it off into my little dish, so I took the entire plate with me. Nobody saw me go up the elevator, but I do have it in my room. I will return it tonight. Maybe, no. But anyway, next up, Herbie. Herbie's coming back. He decided to extend himself for another 6 months until he gets that replacement. So I've kind of gathered myself, so I do want to give a few updates of what's happening, even though we got what's going on. So we are kind of coming up on the conclusion of finishing up installing the HVAC units in all the cluster cottages. Johnson Control is starting that process today. Over the next couple of weeks, we will get those units installed and replaced. And when we completed that project, HVAC units in cluster cottages. I do want to touch a little bit, Jan mentioned about the facility assessment group that was here. Trust me, guys, we were in every crawl space, attic space. There was a piece of equipment. We got a picture of it. I crawled, made sure we got them. So I think we're going to report back with some good information for Kendall and moving forward of future planning, current planning, preventive maintenance planning. So the things that we've been talking about for years, trying to move forward, I think is really going to come a lot of good information to help us get to where we need to be as far as facilities operations goes. We also have in the makings of the moment of getting the new hot water heaters in motion for the north and south building. As that kind of continues to work out, I'll keep you posted on those updates because obviously that will have an impact for everybody in those apartments. But last and not least, we've got a couple new guys, and I'll tell you guys, the one we have started now, Jared Arnold. If you've had an opportunity to meet him, what a pleasure. He's a very polite gentleman, very knowledgeable, and I think you guys will see that as you meet him. He's going to be a great asset to Kendall. And then we have a new gentleman that will be starting on Monday. His name is Alan Whitten. As well, he's coming to the community with some great background to him, a little bit of HVAC. But where we're blessed at the most as this plan kind of goes in play, this gentleman's been doing some preventive maintenance where he's currently at for now the last 4 years. So I think bringing that kind of insight to the platform and having that experience is just going to help lead this process forward. So there's still a lot of good things kind of coming up on the horizon for facilities here. So just wanted to make sure I give those a few updates. Any questions? Yeah.
How much longer is Johnson Control going to be coming in to make adjustments?
So obviously what we, for those in the apartments with the VR out, what we have identified with a lot of these new units, we've had a lot of storms and power outages over the last couple of weeks, months or so here. This equipment would be okay if our generator problem wasn't such an issue. So the on and off power blips that we're having, even when we're on generator power, is playing a little havoc with equipment. So it's a couple different places that you have to go through the process to get it all reset. So it's still a little bit of a learning curve for our staff to know exactly all the pieces that need to be reset. They're here until we get them all resolved. I can say that. Any other questions? All right, thank you. Thank you. I was going to ask Jan, did you offer the job to Becky? I mean, she could handle both for a while anyway, interim basis. I mean, we all know.
She would definitely give it her all.
Anyway, now we have IT is going to come forward and here's Greg, and here's Harold. And there's the spot.
Share the spot, I guess. There you go. All right. Hi, Zoom land. Hello, everyone. We're rolling out WPN, which is a wireless private network. And what this will do is allow us not to collect those dreadful MAC addresses of each device. You'll have one password that only you know, and that'll enable you to sign your devices on by yourself on what we're going to call Lexington WPN network. Okay. We're going to do that starting tomorrow, I believe between 10 and 2 and 1 and 2. We're going to start at sunrise and we're just going to come by. If you're not there, don't worry about it. We'll catch up with you later and get it done, right? So we got a lot of people to do. We're just going to march around the neighborhood. We've got 4 people that are going to be doing it. We'll start 2 on each end, go down each sides. All right, and then Jessica send out an email later today about that. And that should answer any questions. So just be one password, bada boom, bada bing, no MAC addresses, none of this other crazy stuff that we used to do. So you will print to only your printer instead of printing halfway across the campus. All right. Anything else? Questions about that?
Greg, can you let them know that this is a result of the pilot and that we in Lexington are piloting it for?
Right. This is a result of the pilot program that we looked at, changing the way we do things. And it's a new technology with Meraki that allows us to do that. And that's those little WAP devices that get where we get our Wi-Fi from. So we are one of, I think it's 6,000 companies that are piloting this whole program. But we've tested it with 2 of our residents on Sunrise, Vic and Bruce. And those 2 are very technology savvy and they're really pleased with it. And we're moving forward. Yes, ma'am.
We know you 2. Who are the other 2 people who may turn up at our door?
Well, Vic has offered to help us. And then our intern from finance, who's pretty tech savvy as well. He's the Nicholas. He's going to help us too. Vic and Nick. Yes, ma'am.
Will this include our telephones?
No, the telephones aren't included. I'm sorry, they're in Zoom land. The question was about would it include your telephones. As far as Wi-Fi, yes. As far as, if you have a landline or something along that line, no.
So it'll translate to cell phones.
Correct. So when you're on your cell phone, you enter that same password. So it's the same password for every device that you own. And how that works is it knows by that password who you are. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Gregory, you said if we were out of town or if we were not available, that you'd catch up with us.
Right.
That will not incapacitate our
No.
equipment until after you visit, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The question was about, will your stuff still work if we haven't come and seen you? Yes. That's generalization.
If you're already using cable as your internet provider, is it a both and? Can we go on either one of those or should we stay limited?
If you're on Comcast now with your Wi-Fi, you can have this other password as well. It just depends on what you want to be on. Yeah. So the question was, if you have Comcast, whether you can use this as well, and you can. All right. Have a good day. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, our next speaker will be Kay, and she's going to talk about what's going on with culture and entertainment. And I think they're doing a fairly good job here this year, keeping us busy, going places, doing things, keeping us entertained. And she's going to tell us what more they're going to do to make us happy and content here at Kendall.
Well, yesterday we had a wonderful drive out to Warm Springs to the Bath County. No, it wasn't Warm Springs. I think it was Hot Springs. Anyway, it was a ways out, and they had a wonderful art show that had been on hiatus during COVID, and it was really worthwhile. So those of you who missed it, it still goes on, I think, until Saturday, if you feel like taking a nice drive out through the mountains. Garth Newell, does everybody here know what Garth Newell is? Raise your hand if you don't know. Okay, good. Oh. Well, Garth Newell is a music venue out in Warm Springs, and they have, every year they bring artists or performers from different places who are already graduated from music school, and they just do some workshops out there. Well, they're going to be coming here, these emerging artists, next, I think, no, let's see, the
Next
date
Thursday.
is the 20.
Next Thursday.
Thursday. And so you will see them around. You may see them carrying instruments. We've got to store them somewhere. They'll be having dinner with us, and then they will be right here in Kendall Hall at 7:15 to perform. And shortly after that, that's on Thursday, on Sunday, we will have a bus trip to go out to Garth Newell so that we can actually see them perform in their venue. Then we have coming up, oh, I just wanted to mention, I don't think he's here, Jim Surface, are you here? No, well, Jim Surface has started doing streaming live from Garth Newell and also from the university when they have some programs. And I'm very grateful for that because there are many people here who really don't want to get on a bus and go out to Garth Newell, but they love the music. So on Saturdays, when there is a concert at Garth Newell, just look at the bulletin board and see if it's going to be streamed into Kendall Hall. You'll really enjoy it. And we thank Jim so much for taking that on. August 7th, the Parker Quartet will be at Garth Newell. That again is a wonderful group of musicians. So we'll have a bus for that. And let's see, right? Oh, then we're going to be going to Napa Thai. That's a local restaurant and it's very popular. So we'll be going to that on August 11th. All of this, of course, will be on Katie. It'll be on the bulletin board. Sign-up sheets will be there. And last but not least, we will be going to the Beethoven Fest out in Stanton. Now, this is something we've never done before. And if we don't get good support for it, we won't do it again. But it's a free concert. The bus is not expensive. There are no tickets involved. And afterward, we'll go to lunch, probably at a restaurant called The Depot. I think that's the name of it. It's at a train station. And so it's going to be a noontime concert. And it's free. So that's extra special. That is on August 7th. Somebody says August 7th. Okay, I'm not even sure.
That's what you said.
Oh, did I? Oh.
I'm just a listener.
Well, anyway, there will be, I think it's on the 20th. I think it's on the 20th. Anyway, there'll be a sign-up sheet for the bus. And I think that's about it. Anybody have any suggestions for things that culture and entertainment could do or you'd like me to look into? Please give me a shout. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kay. And I think it's important that all of us, as we have connections, we get information from outside of different events, different places to go, restaurants that we know and we've been to, and we need to pass that information on to Kay and her committee because they're only a group about 5 or 6 people, and they don't have to be the only ones coming up with ideas of what we need to do and where we need to go and be entertained. So if you know of anything and you learn about it, some upcoming event in the county, let Kay and her staff know so they can schedule that for you. Well, I have a couple of volunteer requests here. The first one is the front desk volunteers. Prior to COVID, we had on Saturday and Sunday, we had a volunteer, a resident sit in Karen's desk for several hours. So I know on Saturday they went from 10 to 4, and on Sunday they went from 1 to 5. And it was a 2-hour sign up. And we had volunteers signing up to sit there at the front desk to meet anybody that comes in over the weekend. Because people do drive in and they either want to see the place or they want to they want to locate somebody, they don't know how to get to Sycamore Lane or one of the cottages or one of the apartments. And I think it's important that we have somebody there to greet these people who show up on the weekends. It also provides a little security for us. I mean, we have open doors, so with Karen not here during the day, anybody could just walk in, and if they're lost, they can just wander around. And we really don't want that to happen. We want to maintain a certain amount of security here for our campus. And so I think it's important that we have people at the front desk. And so I have posted a list, a 2-hour shift on Saturday and on Sunday for the different weeks. And you can sign up any day, any shift that you want. If we can get a full shift for this coming Saturday, we will start it. So you can either sign up for 10 to 12, 12 to 2, or 2 to 4 for this Saturday. And if we do get enough people to sign up this weekend, we will have people sitting here at the desk on Saturday. If you want to volunteer for the first week of every month, then sign up on that. Anyway, hopefully we'll get enough people to volunteer to take 2 hours of their time on weekends to sit at the front desk. And you can bring all the reading material you want, because obviously we don't have a lot of people coming by. But I think it's important for those times when somebody does walk in the front door, that somebody's there to greet them and help them out to find wherever they need to go. The second item that we need volunteers is the movie projectionist. Now, when I say we need a volunteer, we need more projectionists for our Tuesday and Thursday movies. It sounds to me, my God, let me have to sit up in a booth with this huge machine and have reels of film. A projectionist is probably not the right word, and I don't know, I have to come up with a good word to use. It's a DVD carrier, or you get the DVD that's placed in the back by Margaret, who selects the movies, and then you come here and you turn on this easy to use. If you know the right code, which I did not know this morning, but if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes that works. But anyway, you open it up, put down the screen, you open up the curtains, and you stick in the DVD. Very simple, easy to do. Anyone can do it. Normally we have about an 80-hour training period, but Cleve has said he can reduce that to 20 minutes. So anybody we need more people to volunteer. Now, we do not have a lot of people that come to the movies, but it's something we want to provide. It's a service we want to provide to people here who have mobility issues, who don't drive anymore, especially people, we want to make sure we invite people from Webster to come to our evening movies. So whether we have 5 people or 10 people or 20 people, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter. We are going to continue to have movies every Tuesday and Thursday. And what we need is somebody to be here to start the movies. Mondays. We don't do it on Tuesday because that's conversation. And we never interfere with conversation. And we never interfere with Kendall College either. I mean, there's certain things we do not change and interfere with. Anyway, Monday and Thursday. So if you feel that you can handle the job of, quote, projectionist, or DVD handler or carrier or whatever, please see Cleve and be willing to sign up. You don't have to do it every week. You probably only have to do it once a month or once every 6 weeks. It all depends on how many people we have. So enough is said about that. Please volunteer. Also, I think Diane is looking for more people. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a question.
Cinematic enabler.
I'm sorry?
What do you call it? Cinematic enabler.
A cinematic enabler. All right. Well, anybody wants to be a volunteer. That sounds more impressive than just being a projectionist, which is, yes, ma'am.
If anybody would like to see something a little different, we're having a foreign film on the last Thursday of the month. And our French table at lunch has talked about this. We have a long list of things that we can offer. Most of them are pretty classic. A lot of them are comedies, something a little different.
So Susie was telling us about they're going to start showing foreign films on the last, what day? Thursday of the month. There'll be a foreign film. Do you have a projectionist? mean, you know, as well as an interpreter, I mean, that gets a little more complicated. Okay, all
We're not
right,
ordering anything without English subtitles.
all right. So that's another option we have. And the last thing I received some information about an organization that was recently formed in Rockbridge County, the Housing Ukrainian Families Project. And obviously, this is a group of volunteers in the county and also in Lexington to form a committee to eventually host one of the Ukrainian families into Rockbridge County. They're just getting started. In fact, they had a meeting this week, but I was in Alaska, so I didn't go. But anyway, it was there was a news article in the News Gazette in June 15th about this program. But it's led by Jerry Ney and Alex Brown. They're the two ones involved in this project. And they've already received, volunteers have donated storage space. If people want to donate household items, furniture, and furnishing for these families. And also they're accepting monetary donations. The Grace Episcopal Church is handling monetary donations if people interested. But if this is a project you want to get involved in, obviously this is going to take some time and effort and coordination with the federal government to eventually bring in some of the Ukrainian families into Rockbridge County. If you're interested in this, please let me know, and I will refer you to either Jerry or Alex, who's in charge of the program, to get involved. So this is something new you may be interested in, and so please let me know, and I will refer you on to that. So those are the three types of volunteer positions, opportunities that you have, if that interests you. I'm sorry. Yes, actually, the computer follows you. It follows you. It has a following to it up and away. But anyway, I apologize. We don't have any horses outside for you. The police were not invited to this meeting. I think they did enough last meeting for us. But anyway, they found all those missing plates and dishes that in our apartment. I guess they didn't find it all. They didn't find my plate because I just got it. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming here. I hope you have a good, cool day, cool week, and we hope to see you next week. Take care. What happened? Next month? Next month. I will not be here next week. I will be here next month at our regular scheduled time. Thanks for coming, and please finish eating all the food outside that the government has provided.